Malik Beasley is cooked. Just in, Malik Beasley has been indicted on federal charges for gambling connected to a sports betting ring per ESPN. Now, this was last year that the investigation started. Now he's been officially indicted, which means he's being charged, and then there will be a trial where they try to prove that he was point shaving in the middle of NBA games. I was just reading kind of like how much jail time would you get for that? And he could be looking at anywhere from 5 years to, like, if it's just point shaving, if it's just he was betting on himself and then throwing games or throwing his own performance to hit an under, he could still do 5 to 10 years in prison for that. But if it's deeper than that, if it's like money laundering and a part of a bigger criminal organization and things like that, that's when you can start looking at like 20 years, 40 years. This dude might be cooked. They got some of the clips here of Malik Beasley throwing games, man. Spread was 8.5. The spread was 8.5. It's an 8-point game. There you go. 9-point game. So they cover the spread. What does Malik Beasley do? Bro, the game's over. Everybody stopped. Nobody else on the Wolves is trying this hard. The game is over. There's 5 seconds left. He wanted to put that ball in the hoop more than anybody in this whole game, in this last 5 seconds. He was like, oh shit, I gotta score right now to make my money. That's crazy. We got another one here. Look at what bro was doing. Make it less obvious. Let's see this one. He was on the Bucks. Yo! Look at him guarding Halliburton right here. Or not guarding Halliburton. Holy shit. Oh my God. Yo, I hope the trial is like televised and they play these clips in court. Crazy how this was the last play of his career. Remember this? He had just hit, I remember this game. I don't remember if it was in the playoffs. New York was up 3-2. He had just hit 2 big threes in this fourth quarter. But then he turned the ball over. I feel like I remember on this side of the court, he turned the ball over last possession. And then this was the last play. You guys remember this? He had 2 crazy turnovers basically to throw this game. Wow. Beasley is accused of also working with bettors to hit the over on some of his stats. They bet on him to hit the over on rebounds on March 10th. He did that in the last few seconds. The group celebrated afterward. They got text message threads. Brown, oh my God, he got 1 rebound with 1.1 second left. Fam, no way. He pushed Connaughton out of the way. Fam, we were 1.1 seconds away from being down thousands. What's funny is after he got it, he had a big sigh of relief. Wow. A year ago, Pablo Torre had like a, part of his Pablo Finds Out show where they were talking about this. And Pablo Torre just responded. This was the original one, July 15th, 2025, where a mysterious Twitter user basically was putting on Twitter that Malik Beasley is about to be caught for gambling. And everybody was like, what? And it was this freemoose_NBA account. 35 followers, a straight up random ass NBA account is the reason Malik Beasley got caught. And now Pablo Torre posts this. One of the Bucks games, the district of attorney, the district office general, district of attorney, I don't know what is DOJ, has now identified Malik Beasley took place on January 26th against the Cavs. On that same date, elsewhere in the NBA, Jonte Porter took himself out of the Raptors game against the Clippers after 4 minutes. Look at this. Davis, only way you can beat Vegas is sports betting. Everything else, they got the edge. And Beasley says, well, hell yeah. I'm trying to find like 2K. I'll do my best to pay in full on the first. Bro, you're an NBA player and you don't have $2,000? I'm trying to find like 2K. I'll do my best to pay in full on the first. How is this guy so broke? Davis said, you got Snapchat? He said, not really. Why? I'll talk to you about some shit on there. And he said, you can't do it here. And he said, it's better to talk on there. We can make some good money. He was telling Malik Beasley not to talk about it in a text message thread. And he did it anyway and got himself caught. On or about January 25th, 2024, the defendant, Malik Beasley, discussed via text message whether he would underperform on overall points, three-point goals, and or rebounding. I want to say this. You have to be absolutely retarded to be an NBA player and be so broke that you are throwing games to try to win money. And then admitting on a text message thread that you don't even have $2,000. How are you that broke as an NBA player? People are out here living on $40,000 a year. Less than that. The minimum NBA contract is $4 million a year. I don't care what you tell me about taxes and what state it's in and expenses and paying your agent. I don't give a damn. In real life, if you make $500,000 a year, you are rich. You are wealthy. I live in Hershey, Pennsylvania. 2 streets away from me, there's $5 million houses. The surgeons in the hospital, the executives at the Hershey company, these people are rich. I don't know how much money they're making, but they're not even making as much money as Malik Beasley was making in the NBA. How the hell are you making that much money and broke? I'm confused. This guy's an absolute dumbass. $100,000 a year is rich? Listen, life's expensive these days, man. I wouldn't call $100,000 a year rich. $100,000 a year is a nice living, though. Comfortable living. For me to feel like I'm rich, it would have to be like $300K a year, I feel like. I feel like $300K to $500K, you would really feel like total financial freedom. These NBA players somehow fucking broke. Trick off their money on women, cars, and homes. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they do. They get a couple $1 million and they blow it all. They fly out Instagram models. You know what I mean? They want to hang out with rappers in the club. They want the VIP section. They want all the famous people to know that that's them. They want to buy a house in every state. They can't even do math. It costs a lot of money to maintain a house. Property taxes every year. You're not even there half the time. So like lawn management, cleaning companies, right? And they're probably throwing extravagant parties. They got to have a car collection, right? Because you can't just have one car. You can't be an NBA player and show up in the same car the next day. They got to have 10 different cars. So they spend all this money to look the part and play the part. But the thing is, your career it's so short. Especially when you're an NBA role player. You don't know how long you're going to be in the NBA. And now you got 10 houses, 15 cars, 15 baby mamas, $100,000 in child support every month. And then guess what? You get bought out and you're done. Now you got how many millions of dollars a year in expenses and you're bringing in $0. You see what I'm saying? That's how shit like this happens. Why can't people just stay humble, man? Why can't people just stay humble, man? If YouTube ends up making me millions of dollars, I'll still be right here. I'll be right here, dude. I'll be right here. They'll be like, yo, Eastwood, he made it big, man. They'll be like, yeah, but he's still right down the street in Hershey, PA. I'll be right here. I won't be in LA. I won't be in Florida. I won't be in Miami. I'll be right here. I'll have one of the big houses over where the doctors are at. You know what I'm saying? I'll have one of the big houses over there. Don't get me wrong. But I'll be right here, man.